Hey eBay friends, it's Cynthia and I'm here with a quick update on my experimental eBay store. I've had a very long day, which did include a little bit of thrifting, and I did pick up a few items that I should have in a haul for you hopefully in another day or two. It's been a really crazy week and sadly not a crazy eBay week. But well, let's talk about that and show you how this is going. If you're new here, I've been an eBay seller for a very long time, and our main store we sell mostly pop culture items. The only real clothing we sell are sometimes pop culture T-shirts. There's a lot of pop culture T-shirts, a lot of Disney, and the occasional vintagey item that I come across. But in general, it's all about collectibles. So I wanted to try an experiment of selling just clothing on another my alternate store that I've owned. Mostly, I said I use this account to do Christmas shopping, so my husband doesn't see what I'm buying on eBay. If you're not doing your Christmas shopping on eBay, you totally should. There's so many good things, and really, most people, if anybody that you're going to buy for resents the fact that you bought something pre-owned, then tough. They don't deserve a gift because, there's a lot of good things out there in the world. But if they're into collectibles, definitely, and there's a lot of new things on eBay too. So help out a seller, do your Christmas shopping on eBay. Okay, so here we go. So again, this is my small store, and you can see sales for the last 31 days is $46, which honestly is pretty darn amazing because I have not had, I'd say, more than 10 or 11 things listed on this account since I started it um, a couple of weeks ago. So, all things considered, I'm doing really well. Even here's an even better all things considered. My big store that we normally have 4 to 5 sales a day, minimally, has had one sale in 48 hours. It's scary. I'm not joking. It is really odd. Like we've never seen that. I can't say we've never seen it happen. It has happened, but it's very unusual. And that one sale wasn't even a good one. If it had been $100 item, I'd be like, okay. So, a lot of people will tell you that you can't keep, that you won't get sales on eBay if you don't have a lot of items in stock. And this is one of the things I kind of wanted to test because although it's certainly mathematically understandable to say if I have 100 items listed, I have a better chance of selling something than if I have 10 items listed. But not having 100 items seems to still be working for me. I'm not getting penalized, I don't think, for having less items, which is very interesting. So here we are. Today, there haven't been any sales today, but in the last 7 days, I did sell $17 worth of items. I think that was one item. We're going to look at that in a minute. Might have been two. That's the one thing I haven't figured out really well in doing these updates for you guys is understanding where I left off and where I'm picking up again. So forgive me if I'm retreading any old ground. Um, but I have shipped. Ooh, see, and I forgot. See, I forgot that I'm awaiting feedback here. That's something you need to remember to do. In fact, I'm just going to go in there and do it while we're. Oh no, I'm not. That's something you need to remember to do. My husband takes care of that on my other account, so I always forget about that. But you do want to leave feedback for your customers. So here we go. On Sunday the 29th, I had $15.50 in sales. I had $14 in sales. On November 2nd, I had a $9 sale and an $8 sale. I have been taking best offers on things because I just want to see if I can keep this moving. So let's take a closer look. Start here. So the one of the items I sold was this men's Analog Graphic Techno t-shirt. Analog is a skateboarding, snowboarding company. I do well with shirts like these when we find them. We used to sell them on our other store, but I'm moving them over here since they're not technically pop culture. I wanted $14 with free shipping. I agreed to $8, I believe. And it's weird to me why sometimes it crosses this number out and says best offer and sometimes it doesn't. So strange. So I think I took $8 on this. It was a local sale. The shipping was like $3, and like I said, I probably paid 50 cents for it. That's kind of been my goal on this account, although I have picked up a few little bit more expensive things this week, but we'll see how that goes. So we had that. And then not sure if I showed this one to you guys or not. This was a Nike dry fit tiebreaker knit tank with a built-in bra. It was a nice piece, white with a little bit of a blue, light blue trim there, tropical twist they call it. And again, I was looking for $14. I think I sold this one maybe for 7. This I also got in a bag of clothing I picked up probably in an estate sale because I would never have normally just picked this up. But I've been trying to get into the habit of just buying up a lot of what's left over at the end of estate sales around here from because it's all very good quality. We have a lot of really good quality estate sales. So I think I got 7 on that. And again, with 3, it was probably 350 or so shipping. By the time I paid my fees, even though I only paid maybe 50 cents for it, I'm still only probably profiting about $1 on these items, but it's still profit. And that's kind of what part of the test is. So am I making a living off this account? Absolutely not. But again, we're going to talk about more about that in a second. So there's 2 sales. Part of what I didn't intend, but has been happening here, is I have not been listing very much. And part of that is because I found that switching back and forth between my 2 accounts is kind of a pain. And number 2, after I decided to do this, I have not had an opportunity to buy a lot of clothing at a very inexpensive price. I wanted to do that last weekend I expected to last weekend to buy clothes at an estate sale, but there just wasn't anything. The only one I was at was a vintage estate sale. The clothes were very old, not not interestingly enough to be sold as vintage old. I did buy a vintage hat, but I put it on my other account. I just realized I probably should put that on this one. Excuse me. So um, that's kind of how I always feel like how these things work for me. Once I decided to do this, I didn't have any clothing to buy. Now, this weekend is 2 more local estate sales that I should, if I go on the last day, be able to pick some things up again for about 50 cents an item. And I'm also going to be hitting one of my favorite haunts where shirts are about $2. So again, that's not 50 cents, but $2 is $2. So this is what I listed. So let me go back to my point of this is that this store is sort of acting more like a store of somebody who's selling on the side, maybe who has a full-time job and doesn't have time to list a lot. Because I also find listing clothes, not t-shirts, because I'm really fast at t-shirts, listing regular clothes is a lot trickier, I feel, than on our other stores. So it also takes me longer to list here. And you'll also see my photography is not that great. My husband takes a lot of the photos for the other one, and I've been trying to do this one all on my own, and my photos definitely could use a perk. But like I said, so far it's not stopping people from buying items. So there's a couple of things I listed this week. The first is a Polo Ralph Lauren Lambswool beanie hat. It's got a very, very tiny purple pony on the front. It's a very small hat. It does not fit me. It might be a child's hat or it fits a very small woman. I got this in a load of other hats. I grabbed it because of the Ralph Lauren label. Again, if I'm lucky, I paid 10 cents for it. So if it doesn't even sell, it may not sell because there are a lot of new ones you can get for not much more. But, again, I'm trying to just add some things on here, so I put it on. I have a little more hopes for this True Grit Jackson Cord Western shirt. It's light brown corduroy. The color doesn't show up very well in this image. It's actually more brown than it looks. It's got pearl snaps, which is something you should look for. If you're looking at men's Western shirts, the pearl snap varieties are almost always guarantee you're going to get more money than the non-pearl snaps. And this was a very heavy-duty corduroy shirt. It's an XL. The True Grit company, the shirts, I think when I looked them up, sell for minimally $80 to $100, not on eBay. New, the shirt would have been in the $100 range. So getting a used one for $54 is a good deal. It's in very nice shape. I did have somebody ask about interested in buying it. I've had 2 people ask me about shipping things internationally, and normally I have no qualms about that, but international shipping's really gone up in price, and they thought they could get this for like $12, but it's quite a heavy shirt, and it's going to cost me $12 to ship it to New York, let alone out of the country. The same thing for a pair of shoes they wanted that would have cost almost $30 to ship because once you've reached a certain level, they kind of have to go priority and it gets weight level, it gets crazy. Um, the other, this I think new thing I listed, maybe not, was this Calvin Klein jeans logo sweatshirt. It is a mint green. Again, the picture does not look mint green, which is kind of sad because it's a really nice green. I've got it starting up kind of high because again, it's a Calvin Klein jeans shirt and it's in good condition. Other similar ones were going in that range. I'm probably going to have to bring that down. If I went all the way down to $25 and it still sold, I'd be good on that. Oh, going back to the True Grit, I bought that one. This was one of my tests at buying something more expensive. I bought that at a local church thrift shop and I think I paid $3 or $4 for it, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but $4 when you think of some of the other items that I sold this week were like $7 and $8. Selling a shirt for buying a shirt for $4, and then it's going to be at least another 4 to ship this. I think even more because it's quite heavy. So I'm $8 in with fees. I'm $10, $12 in. So I've really got to make at least 24 on that shirt to make some kind of profit, to double my money, which is what I'd like to do, is double my money. The Calvin Klein I got as an estate sale, so technically, again, I'm about 50 cents into it. Again, shipping is probably going to be at least $4. It might go up to 8 because sweatshirts often go higher than that. So even if we say 8, I mean, let's call it $1 that I paid for it. That's $9 plus fees. Um, I'm still looking at $10 or so. So I'd still like to get about $25 on that one. You can see my math is very loose. And I'm pretty sure I did show you guys this last, but if not, it's a Paragraph men's wool plaid vest. Again, I'm looking shooting a little bit higher dollars. The older stuff I have in the store is some old. This is a little tank shirt that I've had for a long time. This Tony Robbins has a little mark on it. Um, this Abercrombie and Fitch Lucky T tank shirt, a pair of very strange suspenders. These are the shoes that somebody wanted to ship out, their wooden shoes. They wanted them to go to the Czech Republic. They're quite heavy. Um, Woman's button down, silk shirt, and then another t-shirt, little skirt, another t-shirt, dress, and this majestic pullover, which I have had this on my other store, and I really thought this would sell. It's a very nice, cozy store from a really good name. I know that people are used to it having a particular baseball team on it, and this one doesn't, but I'm kind of surprised that hasn't gone. I've been lowering and lowering the price. This tube is very springy and summery, so maybe not going to go. This, here's my guesses. I'm probably going to have to drop this to the 10 range and this to get this to go and that. And I'm hoping I don't have to go lower than 24 on this. Yeah, and the Ben Sherman, you can see I'm still only at 14. Catherine's pants, I'm only at 17. So I started to creep up a little bit with some of the items. I also picked up today a very nice Tori Richards Hawaiian shirt that I might put on this store and might not. I might put it on mine because we do a lot of Hawaiian stuff on my other store. That should be at least a $25, $30 shirt. And then I found this crazy golf shirt from Travis Matthew, I think, off the top of my head. And no joke, I thought to myself, this shirt looks like the graphic on it is in Braille. It's like all raised lettering, but not lettering, it's raised symbols. And I thought, I'll be darned if this isn't Braille. I learned Braille very briefly back in my days. I used to be a special ed teacher and I had some Braille training. And I looked it up, and sure enough, he did do a charity um, collaboration with a young man who was going blind at a very early age, who was a golfer. And so they did this golf shirt for charity. So I don't know what it says on it. Maybe somebody who's, oh, I would say somebody who's blind could tell me, but that's not going to happen because they can't fill the shirt through the internet. But perhaps someone who works with the blind will be able to read the shirt and tell me what it says, because that would be very nice. I understand it's some kind of a inspirational phrase, but if you don't know Braille, it just looks like a really cool design across the top of the shirt. I couldn't leave it behind. It was really fascinating. So I picked those up. I also picked up a Nick and Nora pajama top. If you don't know Nick and Nora, with winter coming and you sell clothes on eBay, you absolutely have to learn Nick and Nora. This is a very high-end pajama company. That's what they do. They do these lovely flannel cotton pajamas with the craziest prints on them, and people love them. If you find the right prints, these retro prints they used to do, you could, I mean, you can get them for $50 to $100, for a pair of pajamas, used pajamas, no kidding. Um, this one I got is this dog print that is popular. It's not one of the most populars, but it still should flip for no less than 20, if not more. I think I paid about $2 for it. So, um, I don't have to do my haul now. I just told you everything I bought. So that's what I got. So this is where I'm at with my experiment. So I have 20 items listed, well, 19 items listed, and I have sold a total of four, right? Isn't it? One, because I think it was one each day, two, three, four. So I've sold a total of four items in the less than a couple of weeks that I started the store. Which is, so I think, again, not too bad. Four items out of with less than 20 listed is pretty nice. My goal here is to get a lot more stuff listed and to get more winter clothing. I know that, people buy clothing, seasonal clothing. Like, I live in California, so we're buying short sleeves and shorts all year long. But there's still something about people's winter mindset, even in places like California, where, um, sweaters and things. Oh, shoot. Sorry. You should always grab things when you see them. I just now remembered that when I went to the thrift store today, right in the front, they had a rack of Christmas sweaters, and I found one I really liked, and I was gonna buy it, but I didn't have a cart at the moment, so I thought, let me keep looking and I'll come back for it. And now, of course, I just realized I never went back for it. Darn. It was a great sweater. Oh well, too late. Anyway, sorry, way off track. This is what happens, this is what you get when you come in here. I just chatter on. Yeah, so the goal here is to get a lot more clothing listed and get a lot more, hopefully, wintry type fall and winter clothes listed. I am hoping this weekend I will be able to pick up a lot of items for very inexpensive prices, again, for like in the neighborhood of 50 cents a piece, and get this store bulked up some, because although I am selling things on 20, you know, reasonably, as the stuff gets older and doesn't sell, that's a problem. eBay does like new items. We know that, not new, new listings. We do know that. So I do need to do that. My goal was to get $100. What did I say? A month or a week? I think $100 a month in sales. No. Did I say that? Let me go back and see if I can find it. I started on 100 a week. I started just before Halloween. And I wrote down that by January 1st, I'd like to try to make 100 a week on this store. So as you can see, right now we're at less than $50 for the month. We're definitely not even in that ballpark, but yes, I'd absolutely have to have a lot more things listed in order to hit that 100 a week. In the meantime, I also cannot neglect my regular store, because that's really our bread and butter, and that one's just, I don't know what's going on. I don't. So if you do, go give eBay a kick and get things moving, because I don't know what's happening that sales have dropped off in November, in what it should be fourth quarter, the craziest time, shopping time. Yeah, it's not so good. So I don't want to end on a bad note, but sorry, that was the note I just hit. If you are new to selling on eBay and you're following my experiment, I would be happy to take your questions and comments. Leave them down below, and I will get to them as quickly as I can and help you out if I can. Like I said, this is my experimental store, so don't look at this and go, "Oh my gosh, she doesn't know what she's doing." Like I said, I've been selling pretty much almost full time on eBay for quite a number of years, so I got it. This is just the eBay experiment. So this is Cynthia for the eBay Experiment, signing off for this week. Hopefully I'll see you another couple of days with a haul, and then we'll see you back here next Wednesday for an update, and we'll see where we are. In the meantime, please like this video, subscribe, share it, give me love in any way you can. I'll really appreciate it.